Good morning. Welcome to February 5th, Tremendous Thursday, the Daily Echo. Got a little story here. I'm going to read a little bit and I'm going to share a little bit with you. Coming up this weekend, we're going to have the February book of the month. So this story, I think, really prefaces why we have a book of the month and why I stress so many times on our episodes the essence of reading. Ben Carson's name has been in the media lately as he's making a run for presidential nomination in 2016. I heard this talk the other day and I wanted to read it and sort of paraphrase it. Ben Carson said of himself that he was probably the worst student in his whole fifth grade class. One day while he was taking a math test of 30 problems, didn't really know much, filled it out. The teacher had them pass the test back to the student behind them and then grade each other's papers. When it was all over, the teacher would call out to the children, "What was your score?" as they handed the papers back to the student that took the test. His teacher thought he said 9 out of 30. Well, the teacher was somewhat impressed. She said, for little Ben Carson, that's a pretty good score, 9, because she knew how challenged he was. And the student behind Ben yelled out, "Not 9, none." Ben said he wanted to wallow into his chair and sink to the floor. He was so embarrassed. At the same time of Ben's life at this time, his mother, Sonia, faced many obstacles of her own. She was one of 24 children. She could not read. She had a third grade education. She was married at 13 years old, divorced, had 2 sons, was raising them in the ghettos of Detroit, Michigan. One day, a turning point, she says, in her life, it dawned on her, because she cleaned homes, that those people that had wealth had libraries, which meant that they read. After work that day, she went home, turned the TV off that the 2 boys were watching, and she said, "From now on, boys, you can watch 3 programs a week. That's it. And the rest of your time, you're going to go down to the library and you're going to read 2 books a week, and I want to report." Ben says that they were very shocked, and he had never read a book, he said, in his entire life, except maybe for a report in school. But Ben said she laid down the law. He didn't like the rule. But her determination to see us improve and to change the course of our lives was resolute. Let's talk a little bit about what the change it made for Ben. By the 7th grade, he was top of his class. He went on to attend Yale University on scholarship. Then he went to Johns Hopkins Medical School, where at age 33, he became its chief of pediatric neurosurgery. And now he's a world-renowned surgeon. How was it possible? Well, obviously, a mother that had a resolve that her children would have a better life than she had, and she took it upon herself to get them to do something about it. And that brings me to why I do a book of the month and why each and every one of us should spend time reading things. And I don't mean books that aren't going to uplift us and aren't going to inspire us and aren't going to teach us something. But every one of you that's watching this, I'm sure, has the ability to read 1 good book a month. Little Ben Carson was reading 2 a week in the 5th grade. So it's so vital that we're constantly utilizing this. We let the TV distract us. We let video games distract us. We let texting distract us. We have all of these distractions, and we feel justified because we spent 8 to 10 hours to 12 hours on a work day. We come home and say, it's my time to relax and put garbage in my mind, basically. So as you move forward, as we bring you the book of the month this weekend, take time. I go through a lot of books. I'm not bringing you anything that I don't think would create great wealth in people. The amount of time you'll spend reading these books, I can promise you, your dividends on that are tremendous. So let's get in the habit of doing it. There's so much science that backs up the data of just reading, how it increases our vocabulary, how it increases our ability to understand, comprehend, reason, and to think. So take books seriously. We'll be bringing you a great book of the month. As always, thanks for taking time to watch the Daily Echo. Have a great, tremendous Thursday. We'll be coming back at you again tomorrow on Fantastic Friday. Thanks.